Nick.
Yes, hello.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah.
People felt like he didn't let you talk a lot in the house.
That's like in out house too.
What are you talking about?
Here's the important question. Elastic band or like the fabric thing that's not elasticy?
I don't know how to describe this. It's like, I got like a hybrid going on. Yeah, me too.
I love how you both look.
We're the Pax brothers. We play with integrity and honesty.
I can't believe it. This is insufferable. This is inhumane.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special Big Brother Canada 4 postseason recap show. You guys know the deal. You can tweet us your questions right now live or leave them in the chat room. If you want to tweet them, you can do it with hashtag YRRLive. If you want to see any of our past shows or future ones, go to yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. On Monday, we have Cassandra, and on Tuesday, we have Mitch, and we're still waiting on Kelsey and Jared. Relax. Just relax. If you guys are watching this back in YouTube, you can click on these buttons, thumbs up and subscribe, iTunes 5-star rating, and a nice review. And lastly, if you want to help support our shows, yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the Facebook group and so much more. And without further ado, I give you your Big Brother Canada 4 winners, Nick and Bill!
Hey guys.
How are you guys doing? Winners.
Pretty good. I mean, I've done worse in my life, so yeah, we're doing all right. It's been a weird transition to reality, but yeah, I think we're handling it okay.
You are handling it okay.
Everyone's really supportive for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part.
All right. I want to get one thing out of the way. Well, I got three things I have to get out of the way right off the bat. Number one, I may have allegedly nicknamed you both something in the beginning of the season as a joke that stuck, and we have to get it out of the way right now.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
I told Dana to tell you guys in person so that I wouldn't have to tell you, and she wouldn't let me. And P.S., this is before I heard your story. I might have called you girl face and monkey face, but let me just explain why. It's because I thought you were both really hot, and then I thought it was funny, and then we just kept it. Then nobody would let it go, but your mother loves me, and I apologize to her.
We'll take it. My mom does love you.
I know your mom loves us, because she knows we do comedic recaps. Now, who is the doggy? Let's start there.
All right, this is Caillou. He's pretty quiet when it comes to answering questions.
Okay. And what type of dog is he?
He's a Yorkshire. So he's a Shih Tzu and a Yorkie mix.
Really?
He looks like my dog a little bit.
No.
Baby.
He looks exactly like Charlie. I thought it was for sure Alasha Apso, my dog, but that is so good. He is the cutest. Chat room going crazy for him. Now.
That's the only way I can pick up girls if I have him on a leash. Otherwise, the kid doesn't get any.
I don't think you have any problems now, Nick.
Yeah.
You think you're going to do good.
I think you're going to do good, too. Oh, I can't switch your things. Your things are flipped. But whatever, you guys will figure them out. Your Twitters. I think everybody... I know. Sorry. I can't change that live. It doesn't matter. I have to do one other favor for someone. One of your biggest fans who has loved you forever, and I believe is single. I don't want to, be presumptuous. XOXO Feedsters Allison says, "Hi, boys."
Hi, Allison.
Also very friendly with your mom, so.
I bet. Well, if my mom approves, she must be all right. Yeah.
Your mom does approve.
You guys owe your mother a little piece of jewelry. I don't know if she's told you this story, but she was in the audience for the double eviction. And when you guys won the HOH, she clapped so hard, she broke her bracelet. So you guys have to buy her a bracelet.
Oh my God.
Like the beads just went everywhere.
My mom is like the biggest mom. Like super mom. She's great. She was so sweet.
Like we're all like picking up beads. Yes, you're a little bit of blank, just a little bit.
You do a little bit. Now, also, XOXO Feedsters, I don't want you to be jealous, and I don't want, to tell secrets, but maybe when I connected this call, Nick was still getting dressed.
Phil.
Oh, what did I say, Nick?
Phil was still getting dressed.
Phil was still... Oh, so no, they are... it's your things are flipped and it's my fault.
Face and monkey face because you really don't know them by name. Let's just get it out there.
We can switch spots. Yeah.
That will help people do that, because it's also reversed on my side. It's very confusing.
Okay.
Here we go.
See how much see how you guys are smarter than me, and I didn't even think to do that. So much better. So, right, Phil...
Hi.
Might have still been getting dressed when this call connected, Allison, so...
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, now, in all seriousness, we have a million questions for you guys. So many fans love you. So many fans happy with your win. But I do want to start with XOXO Feedsters because she has a little bit of an in-depth question for you.
Okay.
She says, Phil, you said in your reflection video that in the beginning of the season, you wanted to take a floater to the end of the game.
Yes.
But then you wondered if Tim was a floater.
Yeah.
So, would you have taken Tim if you had won that final HOH?
We would not have taken Tim. We were taking Kelsey. We thought that we did play a good enough game to beat Kelsey. And quite frankly... Tim played a great game, so he was definitely not a floater by any means. So, Kelsey did treat us with...
Yeah. And we did say that we wanted 2 Canadians in the finale.
Yeah.
Kelsey's a Canadian, and Tim, I think, played an exceptional game, and we would have had to run a serious run for our money.
Yeah, he would have had a lot of jury votes, for sure.
You think? I don't know. I don't think the jury would have voted for him.
It's up in the air. There's a big debate around the subject, and, people did realize how good of a game he played. And this guy in the house was one of the first ones to realize and pick up on it that, wow, Tim, is
here to win.
Yeah, he's here to win, basically.
He was. Have you guys heard from Tim since the season's ended?
No, we haven't. I tweeted at him and I don't know. Maybe he's just too busy. I don't know.
I mean, he was working hard on those abs in the house, so who knows? I think he might be busy keeping those up.
Might be modeling or something.
I saw an Instagram picture the other day. They were looking pretty killer.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's on Instagram. He's just too busy for all of us.
Exactly. That's old Canadians.
We have no beach. He's out surfing, playing with dolphins or something.
He was surfing. He went. I think he's camping this week.
Yeah.
He tweeted some picture of him with a bird at his campsite. He does plan to come to Canada really soon, though, so hopefully...
I would way rather be doing an interview with you guys than being on a beach right now. Absolutely. That's fine.
I appreciate it. And look, Tim, feel free to prove them wrong anytime you want. Come on, Tim. We're waiting for you. Come on and come back, Tim. Who do you guys feel Redheaded Michelle wants to know? I'm starting out the questions easy for you. Redheaded Michelle wants to know, who do you guys feel is your best alliance?
Best alliance.
Well, the treaty worked out pretty good.
But the treaty towards the end was probably the best one. Because, our alliance with Joel was, I guess, on the surface cool. But, he had ties with the Freak Show. And then our alliance with Kelsey was pretty much the only one that actually panned out. And the Freak Show, the 3D with Tim and Kelsey, that was the only thing that actually worked with us. Because Cassandra's alliance with ourselves was also BS. So.
Yeah, every alliance was pretty much bogus, to be honest. Yeah. And the only real, thing that worked out in the end was Kelsey. Our relationship was just real good and no real alliance, but
yeah.
So so you're saying your plan was to make it to the end with Kelsey, because I could see how it could be taken as saying you made it to the end with Kelsey, so that's the one that worked out. You know what I mean?
Well, we did speak with Tim, given the opportunity.
Right.
If he had won the last HOH competition, won the HOH, we would have been bringing Kelsey anyways. So,
yeah.
Either way, that was pretty much set in stone beforehand. I'm
going to have you guys answer this, and I'm going to see if I can bring Dana back up while you guys are answering this. Let's go with Angie, who wants to know, Phil, how many times in a row did Kelsey beat you at pool?
Well, Kelsey is very good at pool, and I'm pretty sure she beat me like between 6 and 8 times in a row. But when I really set my mind to it, I crushed her.
Did you really crush her?
I sharked her at the table. That's all I'll say.
Oh. And she continues. How do you guys feel about, I'm just going to say Evil Dick. I'm not even going to get into the other part of it. But what do you guys think of Evil Dick? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
Well, I haven't seen his seasons, but I haven't seen any of his tweets either. A few mean ones, but I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it's a game of Big Brother. Everyone picks their favorites, and then the minute you go against one of those favorites, it's fine. Like, there's so much out there. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of hate. And once you know your own truth, it's fine.
It's just, I mean, when people have podcasts and stuff to talk about, it's good to be polarizing and be real aggressive in what you say, and it's fine. Yeah. We're okay with it.
It's a domino effect. So anyone who comments on a flaw in our game, that flaw in our game at that point could have led us to what made us win the game.
Yeah.
So.
And we had a lot of apparent flaws that were calculated. Like, we were dinguses on purpose. Like, we said things.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes unsaid. I can look at his face and read into it. So a lot of times, like, we're doing something and then the camera zooms in like, oh my gosh, these guys are doing something really stupid right now. I can look at him in an eye and I just know that it's all an act.
And yeah, we talked so freely between each other, like dumb thoughts, smart thoughts. It was always open communication. Yeah. So, I mean, call us delusional, but everyone had delusional thoughts in that house, whether they said it or not.
Birdie Mag wants to know, Phil, Nick, what was your strategy going into the house, and did it change as the game progressed?
Yeah.
Good question.
You can start first if you want.
Well, going in the house, I knew that you'd have all these personalities, and that I'd have to read, what's going on, and just kind of navigate accordingly. I didn't have a game strategy. I just wanted to maybe make an alliance with a Jared type.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really work out, but going in, I thought I'd have a bit of a bromance alliance. But other than that, not really. Just be myself.
So, I mean, I know that you talked about it a little bit on the show, but I mean, now it's over. I think you probably are allowed to say, I'm trying to think of how I can ask it where you can't get in trouble. Maybe I can ask it. I want to say, did you think it was fair the way you were exposed to the house, or is it Big Brother and it's a game and you got to roll with the punches?
I mean, it's Big Brother. You got to roll with the punches. But when I walk in the house and I start pretending that I don't know him, and then the house already is making their first impression of us, and I was already an hour and a half late to the party. The first thing they see within that 5 minutes is the fact that I've already lied to them. So that was rough when Arissa came on the screen and just basically blew up the fact that we were not only brothers, that we're going to be competing as one person while having two heads running around the house, but also the fact that we lied to everyone within the first 2 minutes. That was tough.
I know, I knew the game and that first impressions are very important. So, and I was like, okay, Nicholas, let's do this. So solitary was actually not a bad thing.
I said right off the bat, I thought the solitary thing was great for you guys. It gave you a chance to work on your strategy together away from the house. As a fan, and I would say just don't comment on this, as a fan, I didn't think it was fair to exactly pin you both as liars right off the bat. I feel like somebody should have told you, hey, we're going to tell them. It's a surprise to you. It's a surprise to you. You're both going to find out in a minute. So don't, lie. Or I don't know. But you won. You won. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it would have been nice because that way I could have gone in and been like, guys, this is my brother. And then it would have, it would have just looked like we're loving guys. We're not liars in the first 5 minutes of the game where everyone's looking for an excuse to get someone out of the house.
Right, exactly.
And then solitary, everyone thought we got a POV or something.
Oh my God. People thought we had won special powers. People thought that we went in there and Big Brother was giving us all these perks. We ate water, crackers, and bowled with apples. That's what we got.
And you wrestled.
And we wrestled a little bit. There was no oil.
There was no, well,
That's okay.
I am actually going to make this so much better for everyone, because nobody needs to see my big stupid face. So I'm going to make you guys full screen. I'm going to come over here.
That's good.
And kind of, here, I can be like in between both of you. Like, oh, hi guys. Now, I'll move me out of the way in 1 second.
Here's my face.
Yeah. XOXO Feature says the wrestling was the most important part, and that, yes, we all wanted oil.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. Over on Twitter, let me grab another Twitter question. Oh, we're getting a lot of this, or not a lot, but a few of your critics say that, Phil, you kind of carried the game for the first half, and Nick, you carried it for the second. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, like going into the house, I was not a Big Brother fan beforehand. I'd watched like one season total. So I wasn't fully aware of like the importance of every conversation you have with everyone. So I didn't know that the little tiny things I would say would get taken out of context and used in another argument. And my brother was really good at pinpointing all that in the beginning. And then towards the end, I mean, it's a long time in the house and it's tough to be gaming so hard 24 hours a day for that long. Like this kid didn't sleep for the first few weeks.
Yeah, Mitch and I were the last to bed for the first 2 weeks.
Like it was insane.
We couldn't miss one conversation. We're too big of a target.
Right. I mean, and it worked. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue if they're a critic or, you know, have whatever problem with your gameplay. I don't think anybody can argue it because at the end of the day, you guys won. You have to say everything that you guys did worked out.
But yeah, so I think in the second half, I learned that the game, I understood everything about it, and then that's kind of where I picked myself up. So if I was to go back into the house from day one, knowing what I know now, like it would be a whole different ball game.
Yeah, in the second half, he really did pick up and carry us through the comps that he played in. The first half, we didn't want to win any comps, so I mean, he just crushed every comp, and like Kelsey pulled through in that HOH and the double, so you know, it all kind of just worked out.
It did. Lisa MLT wants to know if All-Stars came around and only if one of you could go back in. We get this question a lot. Which one of you would go? Or would neither of you go?
I think that would be up to Big Brother to decide because...
No, you have to pick.
Well, I mean, like in the house, if someone asked me a question that was out of my control, I'd just say, well, I don't know, whatever. So, I don't know, whatever. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm fine with that. I'm gonna say, ooh, do you want the chat room to pick?
No, I know that because I know that Nicholas has a lot of more love than I do, so I'll probably get booted. So I'd rather just not know.
What? You know, I don't know that I would necessarily. Well,
no.
I see why you would think that, but I think when you are a strategic player, and you did come out as like the super fan, the strategic player, I think the strategic players always get pinned as like the less liked player just because we're strategic and we're not playing off of emotion, we're playing off of what's best to move us the next week forward.
Yeah. It was cool because towards the end we kind of swapped on that. Like in the beginning he was full game and I was full emotion, and then towards the end
you say that. I remember 2 weeks before finale you said, man, back off Kelsey, and I was like, man, she is a key here.
I didn't say back off Kelsey. I said slow down.
She's
simmer.
a key.
Joel and Tim were still in the house. They were not irrelevant at that point. Whatever.
Oh, well, we're not going to go back to the house. I do love Kelsey. Like, she's great. And strategically, I could see that she would be a benefit.
Yeah, but it still would have gone our way.
Okay, we're not arguing over this right now.
A little less.
See, this is the conversations we had in the house, nonstop.
It's tough.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's talk about Kelsey for a minute. Had there been no Jared, would either of you maybe made a play for Kelsey?
No comment.
I would say no for myself. That would have blown our game to nothing.
Like Maddie? Like Maddie?
Yeah, and I admit for the fact, like, it did help us a little bit in the first little half of the game there when she was working with Dallas and Ramsey.
Dallas wanted us out a hundo all the time.
Yeah, I know, but it still did help us a little bit. It simmered it off a little bit. He went more towards Jared, guns blazing towards him.
Yes.
and kept a revolver in his back pocket towards us.
Right.
Because of the cuddling. And that's why she tried so hard to pull me towards them. Yeah. Once she realized I wouldn't vote or do anything that she wanted me to do.
I'm going to let you two interview yourselves. I like that. This makes it easier for me. I like it.
Sorry,
No, I'm serious. I really like it. Do you have any feelings for Maddie now, since you mentioned about,
she's a really great girl. I mean, she's cool. We hung out outside of the house after when we went to Niagara and stuff, and she's awesome. Like, just a really good heart. But I mean, the kid's single, so ladies, send the marriage proposals in.
Would you say you're both single right now?
I'd say so.
Yes.
Yeah. With a lot of money?
Most eligible bachelors in Ottawa.
Well, that's a lie.
No, I met a doctor the other day, and he was single, so he's better.
Oh. Okay. How was Niagara Falls? A lot of people want to know.
It was so much fun. Like, meeting all the previous cast members and stuff and seeing all the guys from a lot of the season 2, season 3 people were super cool. John Party is sweet. Arlie is sweet. We get along with them great. And Sarah, Mumsy, so much love for her.
Sarah Hanlon and us actually are good friends. Yeah. And Netta. Like, Allison is one of our best buds now.
Yeah, Ashley Wood.
And it's
so much love for her too.
At the party after we got out of the house, like, I cried in the street. I was not okay. Like, I was just not okay.
That's the thing that, like, a lot of fans don't understand. It's like, getting out of the house is insane. It's so much harder to get out than to get in.
We were in there for 77 days, and then we get thrown into a massive place with 300, 400 people.
Like, I got handed a marker on the way out to write something, and I didn't click. Like, I didn't know how to write.
I guess you can't answer it. I know, like, our big brother, they kind of give them a bit of psychiatry before they send them out. But, I mean, I think it is very common. That is a very common thing for winners. Obviously, you're one of only a few people that have been in the house that long or away that long. I remember when Ian Terry won, it was the same thing. Like, he kind of got out of the house and was so overwhelmed with people. Who is your favorite player? Tons of people want to know. Who would you guys say are your favorite players from Big Brother and the United States?
Yeah. Well, I'll start off by saying I referenced a lot of players throughout the game. And these are players I respect. Like, a big one was, Derek. He kept targets in the house during his season, which was brilliant. And we kind of referenced his game in that sense.
And when that's one thing, when we're giving shout outs to the people that we love and using terms, it was like terms of endearment, like, hey, if you're watching right now, we idolize you guys. It wasn't like we're trying to be you, we're trying to steal your stuff. It's like, we watched your season and we really respect the game you played. So that's, like, for me, I love Dan Giesling. I think he's an absolute mastermind.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, I mean, he's good.
But then if you look at the Canadian seasons, I think Godfrey played an excellent low-key game that really didn't get the credit it deserved.
Like, we had a great chat with Godfrey a couple days after we got out, and he was just an amazing chat. And he's Sarah. I mean, Zach Rancy even. Like, a few times in the game, we were, let's just do a Zach thing here and just go balls to the wall and just make the target bigger, but not, I don't know,
What? Since you liked our Big Brothers, your DRs kind of had like a Chill Town theme to them, maybe? Was that your guys' idea?
First of all, Chill Town, nobody compares to Chill Town.
Chill Town is like up here, and like,
we are Brother Town. That's what
okay. Is that going to be new shirts? Are you going to do shirts, Brother Town?
We were probably way more dysfunctional than Chill Town. Dr. Will's good God, a Big Brother
Boogie,
God.
I want to, like, Boogie, I have a huge love for Boogie as well. Sorry.
Oh my God, Nick, you are killing me. Those are the two worst people. Boogie.
They're fun to watch.
So. All right, they're fun to watch. I will give you fun to watch.
You were fun to watch.
a lot of people don't. So, like, you know.
It's true. No, it's true. If you could... Oh, here's a good question. If you guys could play, you can't pick them now. If you... Let's say they were like, hey, it's Big Brother 18 calling. We want you guys to come and play on the U.S. season. You have to pick one person to attach yourself to, though, to play. Each of you have to pick one person to play BB18 with, the way you played Big Brother Canada 4. Who would you pick? You can't pick Dan or Boogie.
We have to pick American players?
Nope, you can pick Canada if you want.
I'll take John Carter. I think he can win comms, right? Yeah, he's got a good comp record.
So the thing about forming an alliance is it's tough because there's a lot of players that look out for themselves more than other people. So,
well, everyone does.
Everyone does. It's impossible not to. I don't know, Derek. I would like to see myself with Derek.
He watched a few of Derek's episodes. Like, I watched the full season in the living room here, and he's just real good at everything.
Doing everything, yeah.
And we could, I don't know, he was aligned with, I think, Zach and Cody, and I think...
Either that or align myself. It depends, because if everyone knows about the alliance, it's different than if it's under the covers. If it's under the covers, then I'd rather go with someone who's more out there and would have a bigger target on their back than ourselves. So.
Well, you're like going to be tied to them, so you're going to have to play it the way you guys went through Big Brother Canada 4. So I don't know if you'd want that big of a target. You should get like...
I mean, I'll say Derek. I mean, I've referenced his game enough that I'll just say Derek.
Well, you know, Derek is going to be at Big Brother Premiere Party with you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him and have a chat.
I know a lot of people give Derek a lot of shit, but again, I love game players. Derek, one of my favorite players, and what else I love about Derek, he's an amazing person, like, outside of the game.
Yeah.
Which is why Derek is amazing.
He's great.
Sherry Blackberry says, I like the sound of this Undercovers Alliance.
Opening now if ever there's a new season, so, I mean, just come on by.
You just gotta make sure you make up some shirts. Like, let's say an all-star season starts calling. If you're fans of Dan Giesling, you know you're going to want your YouTube videos releasing each week. You're going to want shirts for sale when you're in the house. We'll totally help you. Bruno's Thumb has a very serious question. And she wants to know, from both of you, boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
You know, I'm a boxers guy.
Really? Still? Let me see.
I'm rocking the boxers.
Oh, you went back to boxers. In the house, I was
wearing briefs in the house, but I'm back out, you know, let it fly free. You can just, it's nice to walk around and you're not feeling constricted.
Here's the important question. Elastic band or like the fabric thing that's not elasticy?
I don't know how to describe this. It's like...
I got like a hybrid going on.
Yeah, me too.
I love how you both looked. I can't wear the elastic anyway, but this show's not about me.
I'm going to take wardrobe makeover money and buy myself some nice underwears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to Rail?
Go where?
To Raoul.
To Raoul.
For some help.
Maybe for a massage.
We watched some of those Raoul massages.
Yeah, they're good.
But no, we just had Raoul on the other day, and I said, you guys have a lot of money now. You need to pay him a little bit, and maybe he can help you out. And then I remembered, he doesn't know that jackets aren't supposed to be cut in half.
When you go to Baby Gap, I mean, sometimes you max out on the size chart, so it happens.
I wanted to bring him the bottom half of that leather jacket, because I was like, I don't know what happened to it.
Hey, I can't even comment on Raoul's style. I have the worst style in the league, so
I think
I'm wearing the same clothes. That's one thing when we got in the house. Everyone's like, "Oh, I could only bring a quarter of my wardrobe." I'm like, "Yeah, I had to buy clothes. Yeah, this is my wardrobe."
I just shit the whole season pretty much. I didn't care.
They don't. Well, I guess you couldn't say if they did. I'll just say I know our Big Brother. If cast members don't have a lot of clothes or clothes with too many logos, they'll throw them like a lot of just generic whatever they think they want to see them in.
No comment.
Okay, got it. Jordy Legase on Twitter wants to know, Will you marry her?
Which one? Or is it
we'll marry her.
Both of you.
I've seen some of her tweets, actually. Thanks for the support, first of all.
Yeah. Second of all, I mean, just send us the vows, and then I'll see if my vows coincide, and then we'll basically just pick which one fits the vows better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
XOXO Feedster says, brother husbands like sister wives.
You should have continue.
Yeah, sorry.
You could do that. Phil, what was your favorite song since coming out of the house?
Oh, there's a lot of good music out there, but there's one song by Kirby. He's a young producer, 17 years old. He's got a song called 666. It's just absolutely insane. So I'll just say that.
666. Got it.
It's Kirby.
Big Zilla wants to know, if BB had thrown in the twist to split both of you up, which a lot of us thought they were going to do.
Yeah, a lot of the housemates did too.
Yeah.
And you ended up on the block together, who do you think would have ended up going home? Let's say at Final 8. When jury started. If it would have happened when jury started, you both were on the block together, split up, who do you think would have went home?
Was that before he started winning competitions?
Yes.
I think before
I would have went.
You would have left before, and then if it was after I started winning comps,
yeah.
I would have left.
Yeah, because people saw me as this guy who they got no information out of and stuff, so I was definitely suspicious for the first half of the game. And then he started showing that he can dominate comps, so probably he might have taken off ahead of me in the second half.
Yeah. And I think it would have also depended who had HOH, and then basically who was left. Yeah, I don't know. I think if it was after I started winning comps, I would have gone.
Okay. Here's a serious question. Battle of the Block, United States Big Brother, love it or hate it?
We actually talked about that in the house on live feed at one point. Sorry, dog's barking.
It's good.
Not a big fan. I like the old school form without Battle of the Block. I think that's more fun to watch.
I like the game when there was no power of veto.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm that guy.
Have you heard what the new rumor is?
Home right now.
Sorry?
Have you heard what the new rumor is?
No POV or no POV?
Our Big Brother this summer, the rumor is whoever wins POV gets to pick the replacement nominee.
Oh, I've always wanted that too. That gives incentive for everybody to win the power veto, not just cruise on through, you know?
Oh, 100% I agree. I agree 100%.
Or if your social game's good enough, still throw the POVs. So
right.
That adds a whole new element. I like that.
And it allows one side not to remain in power the whole time as well.
Shots firing and you just never know what's going to happen.
It has a whole new dimension. I'd really like to see that.
That'd be cool.
I really hope they do it too. I know a lot of fans aren't thrilled about it, but I do hope that they do it. I am Shay Jenkins wants to know, what did you guys think of Nikki, either in the game or outside of the game?
As far as game goes and competition goes, sometimes when you get paired up with her, it's a little bit of a loss for us when he got put in her team on locked lips.
Lip locked. I didn't want to win anyway, so I was pretty stoked.
But I mean, she's entertaining. She's an awesome girl, and she has a huge heart. We haven't seen her since we got her out of the house, but she did message my brother, asked how he was doing, and she's been telling some of her people at the meet and greets that I'm a good kisser. So I mean, nothing but good things to say about her.
She's a big fan of. We're a big fan of her. She's great.
Yeah.
She's really got a big heart.
I mean, there's a reason why she's done Big Brother so many times is because she's amazing to watch. So
yeah.
Do you guys do any impressions of Nikki?
I can't believe it. This is insufferable. This is inhumane.
Oh my! Man! I think there's just too many moments that I can't even pick one to imitate.
Yeah.
She did impressions of you guys. If you watch her show that we did with her, I think that was a few days ago. It's right in the beginning. And I will say, She says that she loves both of you guys out of the house. She's so happy that you won, and she thinks you're going to do great things as the winners.
Aw, Nikki.
So she loves you guys.
so
Jomo, speaking of Nikki, Jomo in the chat room wants to know, would you guys go over to Big Brother UK and play there?
I would love to.
Oh, yeah.
I know they have intruders as well over there, so if we could go in and stir shit for like a week over there, that would be so much fun.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And they played a different format where the fans country vote, so that'd be cool just to see how they do it over there. I'd love to do it.
I think it would be so cool just to play a game where you can let loose and stuff. You're not worried about game all the time. You can just mess with people.
Are they even allowed to talk about noms and alliances and stuff?
No, not really.
That's perfect. I mean, yeah.
It's just who's like the most fun to watch on TV. And if I really committed myself to that, I think I could do it. Whereas in here, like, there's a lot of times where I just kept my mouth shut and stayed quiet because it would have put a target on my back. Because a lot of the loud characters that are fun to watch on TV leave first. So,
right. I mean, yeah, definitely. I was going to go more into it. No, I'm not going to go more into it. Because I got to ask you this. It's very important. I'm sure you probably have been asked it a million times, but it is the number one question that we are getting for you guys on this show. I'm going to take it from RJ Mitchell, who wants to know, are you guys thankful that Kelsey talked you out of nominating yourselves?
Okay, so he was furious at me because I didn't consult him on the decision to nominate Tim and Nikki.
On my win?
On his win. But Kelsey was not the reason we didn't go on the block. I was never going to sit on the block. Ever.
So that whole thing there was actually just a show at him. Like, look, if you're going to try to take the power and not ask me to do things, watch, I can do the exact same thing. So it was almost like a spite thing towards him. But I also wanted to show Joel and Kelsey that, you know what, we're putting you guys ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. We want to make that clear. We don't want to send one of you home on our mistake,
And then knowing very well that there was no chance we would have been able to self-nominate to go on the block anyways. It's just Big Brother rules. You can't do that. So in that moment, it was just a blow-up of me showing my brother, you know what, screw you, man. Like, I can do what I want. And then show them, here our loyalty lies with you guys. And also that's at a point where Joel was with the Freak Show still partly.
Yeah.
And that
we showed how loyal we were to him.
Yeah, and like there's a lot that people don't know.
Yeah.
It goes even into our speech and stuff towards the end. We made that speech towards like 5 people, and people were like, that was a really crap speech. No one knew.
Yeah.
Our game, low-key.
Our game is very different.
It's like even in our final speech, like the great moments are born from great opportunities.
That's a miracle speech. That was for Joel's vote.
That was for Joel's vote. And then it went into, who did you reference after that?
We wish Cassandra happy birthday. With the flag, that was for Nikki. I plan on doing that for the final speech.
Where'd you get the flag from?
That was from her birthday party.
When we got the kangaroos and the English bulldogs.
Okay, go ahead.
That, and I had one for Tim as well, but I knew that we had Tim's vote locked up. So
yeah.
Okay. Here's what I want you guys to do, just as a fan of the show, or it's really what I think you should do. You should go back. You should watch the season. But you should record yourselves watching the episodes and do commentary and let us know this was what we were thinking at this point. This is why we did that. People I think would love that.
Yeah.
We watched a couple together and we're sitting at the TV and watching some of these conversations. We're like, man, we really look like idiots on TV. And
I mean, what was I going to say? I mean, my best friend Frankie, he knows me. He's known me since I was 3 years old. He watched live feeds constantly, and he was like, Phil, I knew exactly what you're doing. And I see people...
You can see the comments on live feeds, and he's like, man, these people had no idea. But I can read you so well. And that's another thing. We didn't even have to talk to each other in those moments where we're acting BS in front of Cass or in front of Mitch. We can see it in each other's faces, whereas the other house guests can't, nor can the live feeders.
And he would do something just do something manipulative. I'd be like, yo, good job. Just good job.
And then we would never actually
I would never talk about it or anything. Just, yeah.
And that's another thing. Sorry. When you look at the cameras and stuff, Cass did that a lot, talking to cameras and telling the live feeders exactly what she's doing. But I walked in on her 4 or 5 times, and if not, I could hear from the next bedroom over. So it's dangerous to do that.
And I kept a lot of my game even from Big Brother. Everything needs to be in here and in there, and that's it. And no one else needs to know what we're doing.
That is very, that's very Derek. That is very what I have always said. The way you have to win Big Brother is to play the house, play production, and play the fans.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Yeah,
And
like you
people
said,
don't like that.
no.
When Tim talked about a few times about what production would do over there, and we just internalized that and acted accordingly.
Right. Well, speaking of Cass, since you're bringing up Cass, a lot of people are asking this. I'm going to take it from Songy B wants to know, how do you guys feel about Cass now?
Cass is awesome. Like we have so much respect for her. I mean, she got the jury basically to vote for us and said the brothers deserve to win this.
Can we say that, or what she did, or no? Well, no, we can't. I don't think so.
Well, it was on the show.
Allegedly.
No, what she did, she persuaded the jury to vote for us to win.
We saw that. We saw that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But I know that she basically pointed at my mom who was sitting in the show at the live show and said like,
"Oh."
So
yes.
like as soon as we get out of the house, everything's different. Like Cass, we had an amazing weekend in Niagara with her. She's hilarious. And like us being able to let loose out of the house, I think they got to see a new light of us as well. That a lot of the previous cast and even house guests didn't get to see because we were playing the game from the minute we got in to the minute we got out.
And Cassandra, what I appreciate is she's a game player, right?
Right.
And so she respects the game and the steps we took versus maybe Kelsey, who was sitting beside us, and she, even if she didn't like us, she still said they should win.
Correct. I always appreciate a juror. I always appreciate anybody in the house who understands it's a game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. You don't play Monopoly with your feelings and to help everybody else out.
And that's a thing for us too, is a lot of even the live theaters and stuff don't know, but like there's a reason why Cass wanted us out of the house so bad, and that maybe the show didn't fully portray. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. Is that there was a lot of low-key game going on that Cass kind of sort of picked up on, and that's the reason why she wanted us out so damn bad.
And when especially, I don't know about him, but like when I played the game, when I'm playing the game, I'm not talking game. If I'm like, the way we manipulated people was not through game talk, it was through completely different avenues. Like, I can't even begin. Like, our relationship with Joel started on day one, and it was real. But you don't have to talk about who's voting where to be considered a good game player, in my opinion. Like Tim, he was excellent at talking about, a Gatorade bottle or anything. You don't have to talk game to be doing game.
All right, let me ask you this. Con for Peace wants to know, who has surprised you the most now that the show is over? Like, outside the house, or I know you said, Nick, you haven't watched any of it. I don't know if you have, Phil, but is anybody surprised you?
What do you mean?
Like, who's cool, who's...
In other words, let's pretend when you got out of the house, you found out that Tim was like a serial killer. That would have surprised you. So, like, has anybody been, like, super mean? Well, I mean, you're not going to say that. But has anybody that you thought you might not have gotten along with been super nice after the show? Or
I think it's been more of that. It's a lot of people that in the house, like, that are tough to live with, and it's tough to be with each other all the time. The minute you get out of the house and you can go have 5 minutes alone with yourself and then come back to them, like, everyone's cool. And everyone that got cast on Big Brother has their reason for being cast. And I think we all get along and share that bond.
Everyone's awesome in and out of the house. We're all friends. We all share this incredible bond.
From previous season, the guy who surprised me most is Arlie. Like, he's so much fun.
Arlie, yeah.
Arlie is fun. And Sarah, I know you said that you loved hanging out with Sarah.
I have the biggest crush on her. I have a crush on Mumsy. Huge.
No, we're talking about Sarah Hanlon.
Oh, Sarah Hanlon's cool too, yeah.
I think you forgot that Sarah Hanlon won season 3.
No, it's season 2, it's season 3, but...
Look, I think either Sarah would be good. Well, we need to start making it happen. Mikey Tiger Licks in the chat room says, I love these guys and your mom, your whole entire family. I'm the lucky one for having had the pleasure of going to the finale with
Mikey's our good luck charm.
Yeah, Mikey's our family's good luck charm. He texted my mom They get along awesome, and we were lucky to see Mikey right before we left to Niagara, and he waited outside the hotel for us, and I'm so glad we got to see him.
Yeah. Great guy, family friend forever, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. I love that you guys are fans of the game and you're fans, and I didn't even know that your family took someone to the finale, so that is amazing. Rio L and a lot of other people want to know, what do you guys plan on doing with the winnings?
Right now, I think I'm just going to keep it down low, and I'm going to save up for a down payment on a house. That way, when I get out of university and have a steady job, I can basically move out right away and have my home.
Yep, I'm going to go on a trip and save the rest and maybe put a down payment with this guy. What's wrong with my hat? I have to read first. I don't know how to fix it.
Well, all right, you go fix your hat. Okay, Nick.
Yes, hello.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt like he didn't let you talk a lot in the house.
That's like in out of house too.
Outside the house too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in the beginning he was more worried that I would blow up our game by not knowing what I was talking about and stuff. But then in the final question period there, I needed him to simmer off for a bit and let me talk.
I think you guys, Phil, what I asked him was if there was anything you guys wanted to say to the people who were like, Phil, you didn't let Tick or Nick talk a lot during the game.
Well, I mean, everything you say will be used against you in the game. I remember one chat in specific, just for an example, we were in the kitchen talking to Levita, and he was talking about how our dad has a company, and we're not rich. We are not rich, but like, Levita would have I was like, Nicholas, you can't say that our dad has a company, we're successful, we don't pay for education, everything. I had to censor him.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as I caught on to the fact that that's how the game works, and then you start being able to pick up on cues and who uses that to their advantage and not. Like Levita, for example, was 120% game all the time. Like there was no conversation that wasn't game. Cassandra as well, Tim as well would pick up and store in his memory box and use it later. Basically, it ended up just being like everything gets used against you, but I got really good at building proper social relationships and not talking about that. If you can talk about them more than you can talk about yourself, you pick up on them.
Right.
And they let people talk about themselves. So
let people talk, and that's what you got to do.
You do. I totally get now why you are Dan Giesling, Derek fans. These are winner thoughts that, unfortunately, are not necessarily fan favorite thoughts, because that kind of seems to what makes winners, but also what controls the game. But look, I will say this. I think it worked amazingly to your advantage, the dynamic that both of you had. Yeah. I think it would have almost been detrimental if you both would have been so super strategic. And
how many times did I tell him that in the house?
People see that, like, my brother's one person and I'm a different person. So I'm walking around, I'm just forming friendships, and like good friendships that people want to keep us in the house for.
Right.
Beginning when everyone's struggling and missing home, he would go in and do the game stuff. Because if I was doing game stuff as well in the beginning, we would have been gone. It's like these guys are working in different rooms at the same time.
There's no way we would have been able to both be talking game. We would have got tripped up right away. Tim's too smart. Cassandra's too perceptive to... We just had to, one person had to be doing game. He had to be making relationships. That was it.
And then in the end, like, people picked up on the fact that, I mean, we were going to be there together. We both had an influence in the game. And then there's certain things that we just had to be in the same room for. So
right.
Phil, George Damien wants to know, did you throw the final HOH to keep Tim's vote?
I like that question. I felt that Tim would vote for us to win either way.
Right.
I didn't study enough. I didn't deserve to win it. And when I didn't know the questions, I just pressed the button.
And that peeved me, because this is the guy who's kicking me in the ass to study 24 hours a day, comes to the most important competition of all. Kelsey would have taken us either way, but it would have been nice to bring her there instead.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to throw a final HOH and feel comfortable doing so, I think you've set yourself up pretty good. And I wouldn't... I just knew I was going to lose. I just knew I was.
Kelsey had been studying way harder than Philip ever did in the whole entire game, so
Yeah,
it was hers to win.
I wasn't worried.
Well, but Angie, I see Angie Starr asking this. I think Ed Rizzo asked it before. I was like, Kelsey, I was like screaming at the TV. Could you hear her basically giving you the answers when she's like, what is it again, Arissa? Like, the wall is right here. You're on it. She's like, Arissa, is it A and B? It's like she was screaming the answers at you.
I could hear her talking to herself, but I wasn't really listening.
Okay.
Especially from the sidelines, going like, what is this, a charity? Like,
yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't try too hard, we'll say. Like, if I had won, great, but it would have been good for jury, 4-4. 4
the thing is, for her, I didn't get that because it would have been really beneficial for her to bring someone there. It would have looked good on her part.
Yeah.
To be brought there wouldn't have looked good.
And let's say she thought she could have beat Tim for sure. It was just better for her to win that one and feel more confident in her decision. I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyways, I'm happy she won. She was so down in the dumps anyways for the longest time. Like, she got smoked in the first two. Well, I mean, Tim threw the second one, but she did take 50 minutes. Yeah, he had like 20 minutes to figure it out, so.
Okay.
I like we got that one.
I don't know, we're getting in too depth.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm just letting you... I'm not saying anything because, this show, we hope you guys will want to come back in the future. This show, I'm just trying to give you as many fan questions as possible without having me talk. But here is a very important question. Dana kind of talked about it a little bit when she interviewed you in the house. It is from New Jersey Girl in the chat room. And she wants to know, Phil... are you still angry at your teeth? Or now that the game is over, are you two back on good terms? Because, Phil, I don't know if you have seen the GIFs or the video yet. Have you seen it yet? You've seen it.
I have not seen it, but I like my teeth clean.
Have you really not seen it?
No, I've only seen the GIF of me running out of the shower.
Somebody tweet me it right now and we'll see if this works and we'll show them. But it is the joke. That's why Jaina gave you the...
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of chats where my toothbrush is in my mouth for 20 minutes at a time. But
it was funny. It was very funny. It was like, why is he so angry?
Until I've seen this guy do his teeth, man. This guy, when he's brushing his teeth, he brushes his tongue back. I don't know. Apparently, it's Nikki's technique.
Yeah, Nikki showed me the technique of how to brush your tongue properly.
Okay, I think that's probably what it is. I think
it was fun. It's effective.
It is effective. Loving Kindness says, get a Sonic Care. It'll be gentler on your gums. A little Sonic, and you have the money now, so it's all good. Angie Star wants to know. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if you're going to want to answer it, and you don't have to answer anything you don't want to. Has Jared said anything to you guys about the way the edit went after he left the house? And I'll be very specific to say edit in the fact that it showed a lot of you, Phil, being a little touchy-feely with Kelsey. Now, all in good fun, but we also saw maybe Jared gets a little upset and emotional sometimes.
You said it, not me.
Okay.
We haven't really heard anything from Jared outside the house. We had a good weekend in Niagara, and then after that, I haven't heard from him. I don't know if you
have not. I mean, he talked to Mom and our sister, and we're all friends, and no one's really bitter.
I think in the girl department, I'm sure Jared's doing pretty all right.
He's doing fine
in Winnipeg.
Okay. Okay. Enough said there. I don't have the GIF, but I appreciate it. Thank you, XOXO Feedsters. I don't know why. Maybe it's not animating, but here you go, Phil.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yep, that's it.
But that doesn't even really do it justice. It was just very funny. It was like you were jabbing your gums and I think you dry heaved them. We were all just you're killing your teeth.
I feel like I was doing a great job.
Look, if the choices are that or not doing it, we are all on board. We are all on board with
Good
it.
stuff.
We like it. Aaron91 wants to know, and we got a lot of this too. Let's say you guys were cut at 3, so the final 2 would have been Tim. Actually, I don't want to do it with Tim and Kelsey. I want to do it with Tim and Cassandra. Oh no, because you're not going to pick a non-Canadian. Cassandra and Kelsey, and you guys are voting for the winner. Who are you picking?
Do we have to answer this one?
I think I can say that my vote would lie with Cassandra. I think she played a phenomenal game. It was a very flashy game, and I think that's because basically she would come into the room and say, like, guys, we're so good, but I'm going to go bash you over in the room next door. So we look at each other like, all right, Cassandra, like, we're on to you. But at the same time, everyone kind of just said, like, oh, it's just Cassandra. But in the end, she's still standing there. So I think, given that and the fact that she basically pulled one over this guy's head a couple times, I would give her the vote.
Well, Nicholas, she didn't pull it over my head. I knew there was a good chance she'd be lying to me. And that would, I said, if she does, it exposes her to no end, breaks up Kelsey's relationship with her, shows Joel, who's part of an alliance with her, that, you know what? Cass can't be trusted. However, these brothers have been by my side blindly almost the whole game. I mean, everything was calculated.
But at the same time, if Kelsey didn't win that...
Yes, I know, but there was 4 things or 5 things.
And if I didn't win that HOH, we could have very well gone home as well. So, like, these are things that
Bro, how do you think we won the game?
You've gambled multiple times, and I've won a bunch of competitions.
No, keep going.
We're done. Do you see how hard it would be to play with somebody else and try to just...
Yeah. Especially being polar opposites. Like,
we're not. Don't say we're polar. We're really. We're really not.
Okay, we're more different than you think we are.
No, I know we're different, but we're still. We just have strong opinions.
Look, first of all, I'm gonna be with both of you in, oh my god, exactly a month from today.
I'm excited.
We are all gonna be together in New York. We need to do something fun where you two don't have to talk game at all.
Please remove the game from our heads.
I want to remove game and let's just still have fun family bonding. But I do have a good game question from Giselle in the chat room. And I think she might be checkmating you right now, Phil.
Okay.
You're both fans of Dan Giesling, of Derek, strategic players in the game. The game is the most important thing. So then why does nationality matter when it comes to picking the winner?
So I will checkmate her right back and say that comment was for game.
It was said in the other interviews, like right after the show ended, that it was game-wise. Like, Tim was going to be, in our minds, most likely to win the game.
Yeah.
Versus either Kelsey, Cassandra, or Joel. So, I mean, sitting on jury, you had a lot of Tim fans. So it was just evident that we wanted it to be a Canadian there because they'd be more likely to lose.
And we were the only ones who went against Tim throughout the game, who boldly went against Tim. So we just wanted to make it clear to everyone, hey guys, we're going to go against these 2 guys. And Nikki would always be the perfect pawn, even in a Final 4.
And I mean, we knew that Joel had a thing for her and had a crush on her, probably would have brought her forward because it would have been an easy win in the Final 2 situation. And not only that, there were a lot of people that were kind of starting to be onto Tim, but were too afraid to, like, put a gun to him, and we were ready to do so. But at the same time, we would like to see 2 Canadians in the final.
Right. Fans of the Nolan twins. Are big. They played last season. Oh, here you go. I got visuals.
Girls. Oh, the blondies?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Big fans. Yeah. Big fans. I cannot wait to meet these ladies.
Well, they're going to be in New York.
Are they single?
Yes now.
Right? 23.
Chat room will tell me. I believe yes, they are. I think that would be interesting. 2 sisters, 2 brothers, which is a lock as an all-stars twist.
I love those twins. Yeah. They're fantastic.
I am very much attracted to them.
Yes.
Like
and
that.
their game.
What was your guys' favorite comp is another one of like the top questions that we get from you, I think from your younger fans. But what was the favorite competition you guys played in the house?
For me, my favorite was, I would say, the merman competition that I won because it was the first one that I basically proved to my brother, hey, I can do this. I'm here to play this game. And yeah, getting that veto was it was cool because it gave us an opportunity to get in close with Levita. We went off bullshit for that first HOH. Like, we should have gone on the block, but I said, Levita, I don't know if you know this, like, I'm winning this veto, so, like, if we're going to be on the block, I'm going to pull myself off, or you can keep it the same because I'm going to win it. And then I went in and won it. And I think that's, like, the beginning of the Levita relationship with ourselves. That's why she trusted us so much. I don't know.
Well, I told Levita that we just wouldn't put her up till jury, so she bought that part of it, too, so good job. Good teamwork.
Yeah. Calm before the storm. It was.
And my favorite... Do you have a comment on that?
No, go.
Oh, well, I was saying my favorite comp was the popcorn pit, for sure. For multiple reasons. One, it was great fun and super hard, but that was the competition that broke up the Freak Show.
It is. It is definitely. Yeah. And you had a big part in that. Like, I don't... Well, I mean, you inadvertently, unbeknownst to yourself, had a big part in that simply because I don't...
Inadvertently?
Well, Did you watch it back yet?
I don't know what the show showed, but I know what we did.
Oh, no. I know that you guys, I know what you specifically did, but Tim seeing the handoff of the car, right, is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So there was a couple of things that in that popcorn pit, I was watching from the sidelines, and I was just panning. I'm like seeing this happen, the Freak Show destruction right before my eyes. It's awesome. So basically... Tim asked, saying, like, does anyone have the Ren and Stimpy card? Does anyone have this card? I need it. My brother goes in and gives a big hug to Joel, saying, like, buddy, it's good. Like, we got you. And then that was the end of the Freak Show. Tim flipped out. Basically, we just couldn't have Joel winning that competition.
And Joel, I don't know. I was watching a sideshow episode or something, or I don't know, maybe in the house. I don't know. He was just like, I really did believe that Phil was going to throw it to me. Why would I throw that to him? He's the only one who can send us home. I hugged Kelsey in the pit, and I was just like, Kelsey, we cannot let Joel win. It has to be Tim.
The minute like that Joel got eliminated, we just had such a hug in the pantry. We're like, oh my God, we're safe.
Because I swear, and I might be totally getting this wrong, Joel the other day was on our show, and he said he was helping, you guys were helping him on like the earlier rounds, they just didn't show it.
We were helping. I gave him cards. Right. And I was just like, once again, a bit of a gambler to my game too. I had to show Joel through action, not only words, that we were with him and that we trusted him to win it. When realistically, he was the only person we could not have win that POV.
But we had to make it seem like we were on board with it, and we knew that Joel probably wouldn't win the comp, so if we helped him the first couple rounds, that's all we needed to do.
Right. I don't know. I have a feeling you're going to go with no comment, but John, I'm just going to go with John over on Twitter, wants to know, do you have any after party, after game gossip, fights, hookups, or any other gossip that anybody would really want to hear?
I have some dirt, but no comment.
I'm just going to say that BB parties. BB crew knows how to...
And apparently our Niagara Falls trip was very PG-13 this year compared to years past, perhaps. So
was Liza there?
Yeah, she was there.
She was there.
It was PG-13 with Liza there?
She was pretty quiet. Liza was pretty quiet. I mean, she came up to us and said, like, hey, brothers, like, I'm sorry for all this, like, you know, the dish, but it's okay.
She just doesn't understand the depth of our game. Yeah, I don't know. And Sarah, I felt like Sarah Hanlon and I could have had a thing, but other than that,
I think there's a good chance for that to happen, and I love Sarah Hanlon.
I adore her.
We love her too. Yeah.
Debbie M wants to know: is there anything that either of you would change in the game?
In the game or in our game?
I'll start with in your game.
In our game, I can't say anything because we won, but in the game itself, maybe not blowing up our game in the first 2 minutes.
Right.
I'm okay with how everything panned out. I didn't realize that live feeders had such strong opinions, so I would have been, next time I go in the house, I'll be glad to tell everyone what the hell I'm doing in there.
Look, I will come up with a whole plan for you. You just need to talk. Well, but see, Big Brother Canada is different. Like, our Big Brother, they leave the feeds on 24/7. Big Brother Canada, not so much with the leaving the feeds on all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking, Angel Chick 845, are there any other reality TV shows you guys watch?
We watch a bit of The Race sometimes. Our parents really like that show. And I think we'll start watching Survivor.
Yeah. I think
you should watch Survivor.
Yeah.
I would think I would enjoy Survivor. I don't know. Like I'm an outdoorsman, so I think doing Survivor would be neat, and I think The Race would be cool too.
It'd be sweet if we could do The Race. Oh my gosh!
To be honest, like I don't watch much TV though.
So if you had to pick Survivor or Amazing Race, and you can each pick separately, which one would you pick to do?
I love to travel.
I'd probably do The Race first, and then Survivor. I feel like I would do well on, but it would be a lot more mentally and physically exhausting. So I would do The Race.
And we're both pretty good with directions and stuff. I don't know. I don't really know what the game's about, The Race, but we're fun guys and pretty good at traveling, I think.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Dana. I don't know how your Canadian Amazing Race works, but I would not recommend playing our Amazing Race. I'll tell you why after. Okay. Do you think Aldrich Santos wants to know, do you guys think Cassandra had a good game or a better game than Kelsey?
Well, I don't want to be saying anything here that will... I'll just say that Cassandra's game on TV looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say that we were always suspicious about Cassandra. She's very good at...
That's one thing I did notice too. Like I watched on TV and it made us look like we didn't really know what Cassandra was doing the whole time, but we did, and everyone in the house did.
She would literally go from pink room to blue room to bathroom to HOH to pantry, and we're just like, "Hey, Cassandra, like, come on!"
It was like watching her do a tour of all the groups and all the alliances in like 5 minutes, and then a lot of times there was moments where no one's talking game, and then she would come in there and be like, "Oh, you guys are talking game, eh?"
No, we're not.
We're talking about our feet, like.
And she had Tim right by her side, who is a good ally.
And then for us, like we were fighting as Lone Rangers, so I mean, there's a lot of times where Cass had a nice person looking out for her, whereas we were just kind of fighting for ourselves, and that's when we had to step up and win competitions.
Yeah.
I also want to let everybody know that we're going to start wrapping up. We have about 5 or 10 minutes left, then we're going to wrap it up. But the number one fan on this show, and you guys already did it, number one fan of this show is winning their autograph. The winners of Big Brother Canada 4. So whoever is the number one fan by the end of the show, and right now it is Drizzy Jum is your number one fan at the moment.
There you go, Drizzy.
There's still, we still have about 10 minutes left. Oh, we already have it. Dana already got you guys to sign it. We're already good. You don't got to do nothing. We got smart this time. Okay. Was it? No, we're not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go there. Aldrich also wants to know who has better abs. Just watch the show.
Who has better abs? You guys haven't figured that out. You haven't watched the show.
We saw Raul painting them on, both of you.
It was bad lighting. There's no shadows in that house. I mean, you gotta have the sun coming from up here, so it shows the crevasses.
Well, I mean, the only 6-pack that I have is sitting in the fridge right now, and at least it's cold.
But I mean, all I did was eat pizza in that house. We did not work out. He worked out a lot, actually. Well, a bit.
Enough.
Yeah, so we're both kind of chubby now.
And with lots of money and furniture, so you're good. If you guys ended up being split up in the house, I know you didn't want to say if only one of you could go back, would you say which one of you would evict the other one? Like, let's say one of you had to evict the other one to remain in the house.
Well, in the beginning of the season, I was saying, if we get split up, I'm going to openly go against you and get you out of this house. So at least one of us has a chance to win.
But then, I mean, you have to win competitions at one point to win the game most of the time. So if you had done that...
Buddy, I threw competitions the whole first half of the game. So everyone thinks I'm some kind of dud when I threw all the competitions.
Did you throw the last one though?
I sort of half threw it because of our social game. Set it up. Good job, bro.
Look, let me tell you this.
Good comps. You nailed every single one. Honestly, but don't call me some kind of comp. No.
My brother, the competitions that he actually tried and he killed. So I can't say
exactly. The have-nots, we won both have-not comps. With the price of the POV, that was... What else did I play? I only played in 2 POVs.
Physically, he can do a lot of damage.
And the popcorn pit in the first part of the final HOH. I mean, okay.
Let me say this. Don't ever ruin this shtick. Keep it going. It's what's going to guarantee you both all-stars. Just don't ever. Always be butting heads on these topics.
Well, I mean, we're brothers. Like, what do you think?
Do it. Keep it. XOXO Feature says, my favorite moment was Nick going in on Phil about comps. She likes when you two fought over each other or fought with each other. But she
about what? Like, what was the... Like, when he said I sucked?
No, not when he said you sucked. When he basically said exactly what you both just said right now.
Oh, okay.
Word choices, so that's how we succeeded.
Well, we're not in the house now. We can talk a bit more
I
freely.
never said you sucked.
Right. No, she didn't. Phil, you like dancing to music. Would you go on Dancing with the Stars? It asks.
So bad at dancing. I'm a DJ. I don't move my feet when I dance.
So no Dancing with the Stars?
I got some.
Well, I mean, if I go, but I'll get evicted or whatever happens over there in that show.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens on that show.
You danced with your dad at a barbecue, on a shopping cart.
Right. Lawnmower.
You didn't get the Call Me Mate. Oh, no, you did get a dance.
We did.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And you got one and Joel got one, right? Joel got the Call Me Maybe one. And you got, like, the dancing in the HOH room.
Yeah.
Phil and Nick confronting Cass was my favorite moment in BB Can history. What was that really about?
That was basically, we had no choice but to go guns blazing because Kelsey had made it clear to us earlier in the season that basically when we blow up on someone, she believes that it's honest and that we're being truthful. So despite the fact that we were stretching the truth and maybe Cass was lying,
I think the show showed me lying, and in that I could have been lying, but like I still don't know if I said I want to build an alliance.
No, you never said the word alliance,
but I said I want to be cool with you guys,
which could be taken either
way.
Word
choice.
But I mean, you did get caught on your words a few times this season. We did lie at times when our back was against the wall. So that's the thing. Going into jury and stuff when we're saying, "Oh, we were honest and integrous, we didn't lie." The game is still being
played. I love how he said integrous, not even a real word.
The game is still being played. So now that the game's over, we can say that, you know what, we played the game of Big Brother. Maybe there were moments where people didn't agree with what we were doing. That's the game.
Look, that blow up, I think 3 or 4 times in the season, when people were making stuff up about us, I would blow up. And Kelsey started seeing, she even told me, she's like, I know you're telling the truth when you freak out.
And when my eyes get big, she said, I know Nick's telling the truth. So I'm like, when I'm yelling at you like that.
Yeah. So that was, she was choosing who to put up on the block. So I think that's what was going on.
So, yeah, we basically could have had a nice civil conversation with Cass and Tim and had the same outcome, but it wouldn't have been as effective in convincing Kelsey that we were being truthful.
Right.
So that's kind of why it was so
So I don't know why people online are saying these guys can't control their emotions. That was game.
That was all control.
That blow-up was we could have had a civil conversation, but it would have had no pull with Kelsey and showing her that we're being truthful.
Right. I swear, you guys need to watch the episodes, and I want live reactions from them. I think it'll be interesting for you guys to see, what the edit shows versus and, I think real fans of the game know this show is an edited story and not necessarily what really happens on the live feeds. But I think it'll be interesting. There were definitely times I would love for you to see things that happened with Cassandra, or when Cassandra would, let's say, be playing you guys about something or playing somebody else against something. But I will say, when you watch it back, A, you won.
Yeah.
And B, it's a game and it's all good fun, and I want you all to love each other now that it's over.
Yes, we do.
We do. We love the previous cast, but I think that's a thing is, you can say we played a crap game and Cass deserved to win and Tim deserved to win, but they didn't make it there for reasons, which is part of the game itself.
Godfrey Manguiza said, you guys, we don't know how you did not get nominated until week 9. It's just, we did, and Cassandra, yeah, sure, great, Cassandra, you're manipulating me, great, absolutely. I never once went to a camera and said, it's not working what she's doing, and I would even tell him, I'm like, Cassandra's great. Yeah, I trust her. Because I wanted his actions and his demeanor to coincide with my naivete.
Right. No, I think it is. I think nobody can say that you guys did not have the biggest target on you literally seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Which I've said, I don't think it was fair that you weren't told and pegged as a liar the second you walked in the house. And nobody nominated you until so far into this game.
We were the last ones nominated.
It's because there was always someone that wanted us on the block and that would go to the person in power and say, put the brothers up. But then we would counteract that with another action or paint the target on someone else's back. So it worked.
We were always next week's target. Or if they tried to, we just went a POV.
Right.
Yeah.
If you guys were asked to go back, let's just say you can go back separately as a pair, however, it doesn't matter. They'll let you go back however you want. Would you go back, or would you be winners who are like, nah, we already won it. We want to keep our win the way it is?
I think if I had the opportunity to have a nice summer of camping and beer, and then I could come back to it after getting game off my mind for a bit, I would say yes. I think we would probably have to go in separately based on the fact that people know our game now as
I want to go back in together.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like...
Together or tied playing as one person?
I want to play as one again and do it again. Because...
But I feel like everyone would just be onto us from
doesn't matter
the get-go. You know,
you'd have possibly Cassandra in there. Who trusts Cassandra?
Yeah, but at the same time, people know that, know who
you have a Mitch in there who's played a great game.
What you're not thinking is that if you go in there as a team like we are, people know that I'm also a game player as well. They know that you're a game player. Whereas in the beginning,
we can get through it.
I know we could get through it, but it would take a lot more confidence from the get-go than if we went in separately.
You just need to have a story going in. Like, you haven't talked since 2 weeks after the finale because Nick, Phil burned your house down and you're not and then you just gotta talk at night. Don't even talk to each other and during the day. Just at night whisper. You can make it happen. You just need a good story going in is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could work a little bit of magic. I think it would be cool to play it separately just for the fun of it, just to see how that would go.
It would be amazing. Well, Nick, Phil, you guys broke the chat room. You broke the Twitter feed. There are way too many people, but you have so many fans watching you guys live right now. What do you want to say to all your fans, all the people that support both of you as a team and individually?
I think we want to say a big thank you to all the supporters. I mean, we're very well aware of all the hate that's out there, but reading every positive comment and the Snapchats we get from you guys and all the Instagram DMs, we read them all. So
yeah.
Just know that even if, we don't necessarily answer right away, we do read them and, we take them to heart. So, thank you guys.
Yeah, we've been, cooped up in a house. We can't reply to everything. We probably will eventually, but just for right now, we do appreciate all your support.
But we do read them. So, know that if we don't answer right away, we have read them, and we do love you guys. And you guys keep us happy.
I think these guys voted for us to win Big Brother. Thank you.
They did.
Freaking thanks.
Yeah.
Do you guys, let's start with social media, and the links will be below this video on the edited version. Where can people find you guys on social media?
So for myself, I guess I'll just start it off. My Instagram is npax, so NPAQS. That's also my Snapchat. And then for my Twitter, it's NickBBCan. That's it.
Okay.
Your hands smell like car, bro.
I have car. Right now.
It smells like shit.
It's oil.
What about you, Phil? Social media.
Well, my Instagram, first off, is Pax Music, PAQS Music. And then we got Twitter, which is what? Phil BB
Phil BB
what else? What else?
If you think of anything, I will put it in the links below this video. Just let me know. Now, what about people are asking P.O. Box? Now I feel stupid. Does Canada have a P.O. Box?
We only have an address or something.
Oh, you do have one?
That's here.
I'll put it below the video.
Okay.
Don't say it on. Yeah, I'll put it below the video. I don't know if you should say it out loud.
Just in case if you have something you want to send to us, just DM us on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get to me, and then I'll answer you there.
Yeah, Instagram for me too.
Alrighty, chat room. Oh, wait. Limba 2006 is your guys' #1 fan, and she won your autograph.
There we go!
Awesome.
Congratulations!
Way to go, Limba. All right, say goodbye to the chat room. Thank you, chat room. We'll be back tomorrow with Cassandra at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will see you guys then. Bye, everybody.
See you later.